All right, so the focus team is here. Everyone has heard the great news. Tina Charles was traded from the Liberty to the Mystics for Shatori Walker Kimbrough and a host of picks. Dallas Williams was also in the mix. Just first off, what was your thoughts when you first heard the news?
Man, I was elated. Like when we did our mock draft show, the number one thing that all three of us pretty much agreed on was, Mystics need a little bit more size and toughness down low. And why waste time trying to draft that when you can go snatch a proven vet and Tina Charles and solve them problems right away? And I mean, it's not like they need to infuse a young talent because their team is pretty young for the most part. So I mean, this is other organizations need to take note, man. This is Thibault is doing a great job running this ship. He built this thing from the ground up, like literally. So, like this is just running a franchise 101 right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. We've talked in the past in the other league in the NBA. Where you have those moves that kind of you feel around the league. This is one of those things where, look, man, it's a perennial all-star. This is a very special player. She's been arguably one of the best players at her position since she's been in the league. And I know she's come. I know people do this thing where they get all enamored with numbers and things like that, but
Mm-hmm.
this isn't that difficult in trying to find a nice way to say it. But we all know this. The recent. Uh, there's a reason that the Liberty just rebranded. Okay, there's a reason that all these things have happened so the Liberty could try to get to what they once were at a time. Liberty weren't they weren't looked upon how they were in the past few years. When the league started. Um, this is a very special player. Kudos to the Liberty, for being, I guess, transparent. Like this group of people in charge for understanding what this is. Uh, you had to reset, and she doesn't deserve to sit through that, honestly. And again, just want to make sure you get a little bit more credit to all those involved that she ended up in her preferred destination.
Yeah.
For the Mystic side of things, this is what you do when people talk about folks opening a championship window. Uh, this is this is how you put something in the window to keep it open for to make sure that the window's not coming down anytime soon. Great job out of Mystics. You took advantage of a bad franchise and you walked away with a really good player and you're in a good position. And yeah, there's nothing coming out that draft that was going to give you this type of production day one. There wasn't a Tina Charles just right there to be had with the 12th pick in the 2020 WNBA draft.
I always said they needed some physicality up front, especially with the moves that have been made. This free agency, I feel like a good 5 to 6 teams have a front line that you have to be ready for. I mean, overall in the WNBA, if you don't have a quality front line, it's a wrap already before the season even starts. You're just trying to develop your young whoever you got on the perimeter and whoever you may have that could possibly emerge later in the future in the front court. It's just that real. I know Tabalt joked about walking around after the season, even if they won a championship, people running up to him like, "Yo, what do you gonna get another bid for Cambage and Griner?" And Tabalt like, "Well, who do you feel I should go get?" And and then they quiet. He like, exactly. What I'm saying? He was like, there's only one Cambage and Griner. He said the only way to get somebody that can single-handedly match up with one of them is to have one of them, and we not getting either one of them. So, you know, it is what it is, man. But Tina Charles, he just kept it real. He's like, she has 6 more fouls, and with her physicality and the way she rebounds, it can hold teams to one shot instead of them having to kind of be on defense for a couple possessions. She's so strong and quick to the board. Once she get her hands on it, it's going the other way. And also, it also allows Emma and Sanders not to get beat up so much. You know what I'm saying? They took a beating dealing with Cambridge, and if they got to meet Griner down the line or something like that, they got more bodies. He also talked about this was 2 months in the making, and I was told that from a source also before the press started that, she was in, checking out the facility, she actually sought the Mystics out. That was one of her destinations. And one of the questions she had was, are they hungry? Are they still hungry to possibly go on another championship run? And Tabal was like, man, I don't think you got to worry about that. Hell yeah. And she said, yeah, I want to come here. And it was just as simple as that. So, um, you know, and it also gives them insurance because right now, we all know Delanon's recuperating. Emma, the situation is tricky because of the coronavirus epidemic. Matter of fact, when she travels, they won't have to quarantine her to make sure she don't have it. And that's just the reality where we live in. When you travel abroad now, you got to chill for a little bit just to make sure you ain't bringing it. You got it in the airport or something. So she can't even just come right in and get started. Then they got to get her up to speed. You know what I'm saying? Tiana Hawkins is recovering from knee surgery. He gave an update on Kiara Leslie. He said right before everything shut down, she was in the gym shooting or whatnot, and she was on pace to be ready by the first day of training camp. And with this situation where they can't physically be in a facility and treatment and everything, we don't know how much that affected everybody until everything clears up. So that's just the reality. So they needed somebody that could be ready to go to kind of give them insurance. And he talked it over with the team. He talked it over with with Latoya Sanders to let her know about the minutes adjustment. It's a selfless team, man. That's what made them special. Everybody just on board. Like, let's keep winning. Let's go. Whatever we got to do, sacrifice, or if my role has to increase, let's do it. And that's where the team is at right now.
And I mean, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. We covered them all year long last year. That wasn't something that just happened. That was from the beginning of the year. That's kind of also been, something that's been here with the culture that Coach built, and it's just gotten stronger and stronger, obviously. But last year's group, I mean, depending on the week or what the stretch of schedule, people's minutes were fluctuating like crazy. Other teams, this would have been, we've seen other teams where somebody's minutes move a little bit, and it's World War III, and here it is what it is. So I want to give them credit for that. And the other thing is you're bringing another winner into the group. Yes, I know Tina has not won a championship in the WNBA. She has the pedigree of a winner. And again, it's another super hungry person. Like you brought up Cardell. You almost, obviously it's insurance for the things that you mentioned. It's also insurance for, there's no way complacency is going to seep in. You already have somebody who's went through the things Tina's went through and hasn't accomplished what the Mystics accomplished last year.
Right, and he stated that she's gonna be on a mission, not a selfish mission, because she really don't have nothing to prove to anybody. But the last couple of years, admittedly, weren't her best. Especially last year, it was real bad. She wasn't efficient. I mean, not real bad. She wasn't efficient. You could just tell the losing and everything. It takes its toll, man, and it's tough when you don't see no end in sight. So this was kind of her first time, kind of being close to being a full free agent. So she like the hell with that, man. She's a former MVP, and I think they think she's gonna kind of be the glue to kind of keep them motivated because she don't know what a championship tastes like. So Sabal also made mention of her work ethic. Because he coached her in Connecticut. People don't understand that. So the learning curve will be real quick on both ends. And he said, she's business minded. Like she don't play games when it comes time to work in the gym, when it comes time to practice, put extra work in and stuff like that. And she's kind of quiet. You know what I mean? She's not the most, the Mystics got a couple players that are very personable. Let's just say that, but that's not her. But I'm not pretty sure they're gonna rub off on her a little bit, and she'll open up a little bit more. But if she do see you bullshitting, Tabal said she won't hesitate to let you know. And that's where he said it would be a breath of fresh air because you won't have to worry about that with this thing. You can see everybody working, everybody being unselfish, just focused totally on winning. And I think she hasn't really fully experienced that. And now she's gonna be, just happy, and that's going to energize her, and with her energized, that's going to energize them, and it's just they're going to feed off one another. So that's just just what it is.
And then like you said, it's already a sense of familiarity with Tina Charles and Tabal. They was together in Connecticut. She was an MVP under him, so like they know what each other's about. They don't have to figure each other out. And then like it just adds another layer to their offense. Like her being in New York, not a really good team. People could kind of focus on her. Like now, she's probably going to be 3 on the scouting report, and then you get to ISO her and post ups and surround her with shooters. That's just only going to help her and make the game easier for her. So, I mean, good luck guarding her 1-on-1. So we want to see how that play out.
Yeah, and I guess for me, it's like Coach C's continually kind of just stayed ahead of the curve, in terms of the rest of the league, and this is another one of those things where it's keeping the Mystics ahead. Like Cardell, you mentioned some of the other teams in the league in free agency. We had a wild free agency this year at WNBA, so a lot of movement, a lot of big names, with really really productive games as well, moving to different places. Like Cardell, you mentioned Angel, Las Vegas. We got Dewana in Connecticut with Alyssa and John Quayle. Now Washington gets another versatile piece to their front line where you can mix and match these lineups so many different ways now, which they could do last year. But like we've all been saying, the physicality, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting so much more than just – you're not just getting a goon, right? It's one thing you're like, hey, let's go to the drafts, get a free agency. Let me get a body to throw around, just to bang with folks in limited minutes. It's a former MVP candidate.
Right.
It's someone that has to be accounted for. And that's the other thing now is I know you could post Emma and Elena at times last year, but that posting them and then throwing it down to someone with a legit low post game is a little bit different. Those high lows get so much more interesting now. We saw times last year when, Emma and Elena were running and pick and rolls with each other. Times when all three of them were on the court, who do you pick up?
He talked about that. I know a lot of people kind of talking about because everybody's enamored with 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Tabalt was like, nah, I want you to get back to me and you in the post. I mean, we have some pretty good options outside. We don't need another shooter. That's just what it is. We need somebody inside. And then he said it was just, and I get it. You had to step out there because you got tired of dealing with 2-3 people every night getting beat up. So you had to, kind of show you had that range so they can kind of give you space. But you don't have that, you don't have that problem anymore. And now, he's saying with the shooting on the floor now, she's pretty much for the first time probably ever since she was a kid, she's about to have single coverage.
Yep.
So she's about to be living life great. She's about to enjoy life. And if they do come with a double, then you risking getting burned by Deladon, Beastman. Sanders has a mid-range. Hawkins can shoot. It could get ugly real quick. It could look like the Warriors' third quarter run real early, just distance, but it can happen in the first or second quarter and the game be over. So I love the acquisition. Some people, I see some comments, people hitting us up like, man, they gave up a lot. I'm like, I love Shatori. She got better. It was time for her to flourish, but they deep at that, position. And I'm like, no disrespect to Shatori. She's not an all-star yet. Maybe she can emerge as that. But anytime you can get an MVP kind of in her prime or his prime, that's a no-brainer. And then for a draft pick, and he also mentioned about the draft, he said the draft wasn't as strong this year. There really weren't very many great post players. They don't need somebody to come in and be one-on-one to shoot. So naturally, with the 12th pick, with the team they had, they were going to be drafting for somebody to develop over the next couple of years.
Right.
That was just a reality. So it's like he said, it would have been hard for veterans to come and crack their lineup, let alone a rookie. So that was a no-brainer. So we basically just drafted Tina Charles in MVP form, in the prime of her career. I'll take that any day. And that's basically what it comes down to. And he wanted to clear something up about the draft. The WNBA is not the NBA. They don't work out players. That's what people don't understand. They don't work out players. So all they do is just have interviews. And
Right.
they just go off the scouting and the interview process, scout them all year and go off the interview process. And that's how they deal with it. They can't really bring players in to see maybe they had some elements to the game that maybe the system in college wouldn't allow them to show. And, he just had to clear that up. So he said maybe it would have been somebody down the line that can help him. I may mention Bella Alari and all that because, they got 2 other people like her. But, I mean, no disrespect to her. Tina Charles or her at this point is a no-brainer. So, you got to roll that. And that actually just keeps them as the favorite, because, it was kind of a few teams that were right there with them, but that just, kind of get them back up there. It was like they still the team to beat. And, I love it, man. I love the physicality. I always love Tina. She's a dog. And, man, I would love to be a guard on this team, though. It'd be easy, sis. Easy, easy.
And another thing to keep in mind too, like she's been logging 32 minutes her entire career. You're
Mhm.
not playing 30 minutes in DC on a
Yeah,
regular
32.
basis,
Yeah,
right? I think it's about 32 for a career.
yeah.
You're not
And you,
playing those 32 stressful minutes. You're
yeah,
just not.
you
Like
be
we saw
chucking.
last year. Exactly. We saw last year, like Tiana's getting her minutes, Latoya's getting her minutes, different games depending on what's going on as things flow. So you're almost getting, obviously it's not going to be as light a load as like Olympic team light, but it's going to be in that ballpark where they're coming at you in waves, right? And
Hmm.
there's so many people, they have so many, they have so much talent up front. You're going to be getting a really fresh Gina Charles for most of the season.
Right.
And those minutes are different. They're not stressful. For all the reasons that you guys all listed that she's dealt with in New York, this is different. This is single coverage. I get the board, and I'm on the floor with it's spacing.
Right.
Wonderful, wonderful spacing. And as a big, what more can you ask for? But spacing, like, oh, you know how hard of a decision that's going to be? Let me walk away from Elena Deladon or Emma Meeseman. Go double Tina Charles.
Also, somebody asked about her potential being here, or was it just a 1 year deal? And that's when he made mention that he chose them. And she chose them. Wanted to see the facility and really talk to him about things. And he said the one thing that sells more than what anybody could say is them having played against us. So they know firsthand what we're coming with and what we're like and what our system is about. Because they had to scout for it, they had to feel it. You know what I'm saying? Had to deal with it. And also, I think that the facility gives the Mystics an edge in that home crowd, man. It's nothing like it. Like people don't understand because they still caught up in the women playing basketball with nonsense. That's why I say they the standard for professional teams in this area. It's nothing like it. I mean, you have to go to like a college environment, but it's like that with the pros, and they selling out every arena. And the love she can get, especially coming ball, and they kind of get back on track of what they were last year. They're gonna love her. I mean, it'll be nowhere she can go without the love. So, I think he's confident that she'll want to stay and kind of like finish off her career here and keep winning. Especially if they win the ship, it'd be no reason to leave. It'd just be more incentive to stay. Um, he also made mention of the communication with the training. Well, the team staff and them. He said every player talks with the trainer every day. Getting tips on workouts, nutrition, all that. Trying to do the best they can to stay in shape. They talked for about 2 minutes, just touching base. They said the strength coach meets with them about 2 to 4 times a week for workouts. Every the entire team. Um, they said they sent the players, workout, equipment and everything, make sure they could do what they need to do. The coaching staff checks in weekly. The mental performance coach touches base with them if they need it, whenever they need it. Um, basically, he said if anything, they're over communicating. They probably tired of hearing about them, so they were fully aware of Tina being courted and all that. So they were already understood what was coming down the pipeline. So they all signed off for it. And he also said, he been getting hit over the head because of what Cambodge did, and they almost knocked him off. And John Quill, the way they went to work on him too. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people was like, you get another big. And then finally, Deladon kind of like, yo, we may need another. So he said, fine. And then that's when Tina came into the play. And he said, look, I've been getting hit over the head with fans about this, but I don't listen to them. I listen to you, though. So I went and got you a big. And let's when it's time, let's get to work and do what we need to do. So everybody down for it. Everybody know what it is. Now it's about repeating, man. Getting back focused and repeating once we get out this mess.
Man. Yeah, I just like the tone it sets, just from an organizational standpoint. Like last year they had the motivation to, run it back after they lost in the finals in 18. And now they're like, we're here to stay. And moves like this show that. So, and they know teams are going to be coming at them, because they finally got over the hump. And this just kind of, like Wilson said, keeps them, in the lead as far as, championship contenders go. And, it's going to be tough to deal with them. Like you got to deal with Tina on the block by herself, or you can double and give up 2 or 3 easy ones. So pick your poison, man.
and
That's
and and Cloud doing what she does best, eating and stuff like that. And you gotta understand when you a scorer, shooter, and you know you got somebody down there clean it up. It takes pressure off you. You just like I could just. I'm taking any shots, dog. Like I'm not
oh
bringing
yeah.
30-foot fadeaways out here like on Mike and stuff. Like, ooh, and they're gonna clean it up. You know what I'm saying? But when you ain't getting that board, that miss look bad. It look worse, dog.
Yeah.
Like, God damn. Like, oh shit, you running down court not looking at the bench.
Man.
You see somebody at the table, you just walk to the back of the bench. You don't even because you know the coach pissed and stuff.
But like all serious note, think about that though now. Now you don't have to be as careful about what you put up, right?
Right.
It's more freedom.
Exactly. So
And they also
Go ahead.
announced,
Now I was gonna say I forgot they picked up Leilani Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he also said they're revamping the playbook, so they're gonna send
Oh man.
the next couple of weeks. They're gonna send out a new playbook with new schemes offensively and defensively that incorporates Tina and Leilani and all that. And Leilani played here, but she played with him before, so it ain't gonna take them long to adjust. But yeah, you know, they look, man, ain't no slacking, dog. There's no slacking. They doing what they got to do. So he got his foot on people's necks, man. Certain people in that under that monumental, they better get it together, dog, because it's like, damn, dog.
Hey, look, you know what that was though, kind of like to that whole entity or whatever, like all the teams underneath that umbrella. You just came off a chip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you respond with this. It's like you talk about set the tone, Raymond, on so many different levels, right? And then the other thing, I know everyone's getting so amped up about offensively. I'm excited about what this group looks like defensively now, right? There's so many more things you can do. It's not like Tina's in a mobile big that's a slogger and can't move or something like that. Like you said, Cardell, with new playbooks and new schemes, I'm interested to see what that actually looks like on both ends. And the other thing, even on the other end, we know what the misses look like in transition. You have somebody like Tina Charles eating the glass on both ends.
And dang, through all this, I forgot about Maisha Hines Island.
Yes.
Like she did.
Oh.
Yeah, dog.
Look. Think about this. You still have Maisha and aerial powers in that hybrid forward. Like, yeah.
Oh, God, I'm looking at the rock. Man.
Yeah. So, like, I know some people are like, oh, they got
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the number of games, it sounds like it, but that 12th person, I don't care who you got, you're not cracking. No.
Of course not. Not a youngin, unless you special. Unless it's just a hell of a draft. You gotta be all world. Like man, this is the greatest draft in the history.
Hey, if it was like that,
period.
they probably still had that pick.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean or anything, just being honest, right? Like
you gotta keep it real sometimes, man. It's rare in this day and age. Just
man.
Tell her how it is.
He's a really good talent evaluator. Like if he felt like he was missing out on something, they'd have that pick or they would have tried to move.
And I trust the ball because look up the Maryland games he did. Damn sure GW game. I'm like, you at GW game? Woo! He's everywhere. He don't play games. He recruit. He's not recruit. He out there scouting. And it's not just him, it's the entire staff.
But they don't know about his experience and pedigree though.
Well, we do. We've said it many times. Like
right,
they know in that building for sure, because they brought it up. They're like, look, I drafted Jordan. Shut up. All right, this is what we're gonna do. I drafted Mike. And the owner ain't even want me to draft Mike. He wanted me to get Mel Turpin. And think how that would have looked. That'd have been on my resume forever. So no.
I do, but nah, you gotta sit back.
He's a brilliant basketball mind, and you see the fruits of what he brings to the Mystics, man. They hands down the standard when it comes to professional basketball right now in this area.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, bringing in something like Tina for those younger players. You mentioned Maisha, things like that.
They gonna get better.
Man, that's what you see in practice every day.
Man. And it's a ball competitor, so he gonna switch it up. And like Emma gonna be on one team, Della on another. Certain schemes. Obviously, you gotta get the starters rhythm, but
Right.
And I like how the guards, they play defense. So, in practice, yeah, they're going to be digging down. Like, we're going to make you work, Tina. And then she, you know what I'm saying? That's going to get her sharp
It's
back to
iron
Tina
sharpening
mode.
iron. Yeah, it's everything you could ask for. If you were a team that was trying to make a jump to being a contender, you can multiply by 10 when you consider this is the team that completed the task last year. It's crazy. You're not supposed to get one of these after coming off a championship. This
Exactly.
isn't how this is supposed to
Right,
go.
right.
It's like I know Chris Miller was on. He made mention of Clyde going to the Rockets after they won the chip or something. It's more for me. It's kind of similar to that. It's like when Bow McAdoo went to the Lakers, back in the '80s, or when Bill Walton got healthy and went to the '86 Celtics and stuff like that. And then boom, they back smacking people. Or
they were loaded.
Equivalent in the modern day, if you look on the NBA side, I think when she got traded halfway the year to the Pistons, and that put them over the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's just so many. It happens so quick, man. And it's just I mean, when they went on that run the last year, I like just finish the deal and then let's talk about a dynasty. Why not?
Right.
And to be a dynasty, you got at least win 3. So and they in prime position to do so. Why not? Why not set the tone where when you look back at WNBA history, you say the Comets, you say the Lynx, and then you talk about the Mystics. Why not?
And that's the thing, like that. And I love that you brought that up. That's what they have in front of them right now. It's up to them what they do with it, right? But as of right now, it's 1 down. That's a heck of a piece you took off the board to put on your own team, right? Let's see what you do with it.
Sure.
Like nothing's written down, but you got to again tip your cap to management, put your players in that position, right? Now to see what they do with it.
I wonder what this does psychologically to the rest of the league. Like, after last year, I'm pretty much thinking that every team was like, well, we can get them in one area if we got, a big bruising big. So now they've addressed that. So what do you do now?
Honestly, bro, with some of the moves these teams made, I think they like Shaq Ball.
Yeah.
I would be. If I'm in Seattle, Stewie and them with Natasha Howard and them big Mercedes, I'm like Shaq Ball out in LA. Candace and them probably helped them like Shaq Ball. The Aces had Angel McCutcheon, Shaq Ball. DeWanna Bonner up there in Connecticut with John Quill and Alyssa Thomas. I most definitely like Shaq Ball. Like Shaq Ball. That's it. Like, I mean, dog, when you repeat, it's supposed to be harder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, look, dog. They got the edge because they got the nucleus and they're the champs. You know what I'm saying? And the other teams still trying to figure it out. But other teams push them. Even though they added Tina Charles, we added them. So we added such and such. So
exactly. Like if you're the Aces, you're like, well, we pushed you and we didn't have an Angel.
And think about Phoenix, adding Skylar, point guard play. That moves Diana off the ball when she just shoots. You got Grinder down there. Yeah.
Like this is the thing.
Like Shaq Ball.
With as crazy as free agency was, it's crazy because I feel like it was so long ago, right?
Yeah.
This is almost like honestly, this is just the Mystics' response to what happened in free agency.
Yeah.
It's just that it's so much space, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because in free agency, we saw things happen so quick. Like people was like, all right, we got to armor up. I need one of these. Let me get one of those. Give me 2 of these. Let's go.
Arms race is real out here.
Yeah. So like Cardell said it, like literally everyone just like check Rod. Let's see what happens.
What do you think happens if the Mystics don't start fast?
I think when you're a champion, you kind of can lean your hat on. We know how to get out of this. You know what I'm saying? So I want to trip off them. I mean, obviously, when you're the way I know Tabal to be, he ain't gonna be happy with that. You know what I'm saying? And that team won't be happy with that. They're not the team to just take losing and be like, how you see in the league, some dudes be like, it's okay, we'll catch up. We got like 70 games left. Next thing you know, it's 50 games left, and you know what I mean? So I don't think they were even allowed to get to that point. But let's say they do, I don't think they'll panic because they're proven. And who knows why that could be. Maybe it's that people are not fully healthy yet. They need to chill a little bit or something like that. So and the main thing they gotta focus on is chemistry. It might just be chemistry. They gotta figure things out. And then when I think they figure things out, it'll be a wrap. You see what I'm saying? So, like Christie, you lost two key pieces, Christie and Shatori. So other players were going to have to fill that void. That Christie brought clutch play, man, some serious clutch play. Now you kind of like, what guard's gonna step up and do that? I know Powers is willing to do it.
Right.
She'll let it fly. But what if she can't get the shot off? Who else gonna be willing to, let it fly? So it's gonna be different. But somebody else is gonna have to kind of fill that void, maybe from a different position. That's all.
Yeah,
And that's something they gotta figure out.
And I think that's going to be the fun part is seeing who fills those, who steps into those roles. And yeah, it's like, sports don't matter, even if it seems like with continuity through a stretch or whatever, like there's still not the, even every year, you're not the same team you were the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Like every year, you're a different iteration of what you were. So, I mean, we're going to see what this group looks like. Like you were talking about, like some of the folks last year that was part of that run, their roles are going to be a little bit different this year. You're going to have more minutes. So those lineups, because of those people being in the, those lineups won't be exactly the same, maybe off by a person, but what that person brings to the floor changes the entire chemistry of said lineup.
Right.
So we're going to see how that looks. But I do think it's going to be something where, like, yeah, you're going to miss Christie shooting and whatnot. You're definitely a little bit bigger on the wing now in terms of, like, rebounding should not be an issue this year.
For sure not, man.
Like no matter how you cut it, whatever type of lineup you come up with, we've seen Tiana, play as high as the 5, slide down to the 3. Maisha can slide, Powers can slide, and then we're not even talking about those 3, the other 3 bigs, the big name bigs. You still, my bad, you still got Latoya, where 5 in a pinch, but if she's more at the 4, that's even more mobility and more versatility you have in those lineups. So I mean, like Cardell said, it's just. I think it's be about the chemistry more so anything chemistry and health. I don't think like this group, because we're talking about their makeup, is not going to be the things we see on the men's side sometimes where it's like, people out here ego tripping, like people know who they are.
Exactly, man. So we're going to wrap this up because the program let me know we about to get cut off. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, stay tuned with us. If any more information comes out about the Mystics, we'll have it here first, and we, looking forward to the season happening hopefully soon.
Fingers crossed,
man. God.
No doubt, man. This the focus, and we'll talk later.